Hi everyone, my name is Lindsay Foreman and I'm talking to you today about marriage for Comms 101 at Liberty University. So the purpose of this is to persuade you guys into digging a little deeper and researching for yourself what the Lord really says about marriage and how although this culture of self-satisfaction and really not really working to fulfill our needs and our wants and our desires, which is killing marriages and ultimately upping our divorce rates like crazy. I want to show you guys that that shouldn't be the norm and that's not what God intended. So, a little bit of numbers for you math people. According to divorce.usu.edu, 40 to 50% of all first marriages and 60% of all second marriages will end in divorce. Those are some really scary numbers. Those numbers hit closer to home for some people than others, unfortunately, but everyone in some way or another has experienced or has known someone who's experienced or has seen the repercussions of a divorce. And you can see how painful and how hurtful that can be. So the purpose of this ultimately is to encourage my listeners to see what the Lord has to say because He has a lot to say about it. So God created each of us with this innate desire for intimacy, to know and to be known. And we can see this in Genesis 2:8. God says, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make a helper for him." He actually tells us that it's not good that we're alone. We are designed for interaction, for intimacy, and for love. But in our culture today, what love looks like is a lot different from the love that we see in the Bible. It is a self-satisfying, you do this for me and I'll be happy, you make me happy, or you complete me. Things like that we hear a lot in our culture when we're going to look through this a little bit later, but that's not at all what we see in the Bible. So why I'm so confident about, or not confident at all, but why I'm so passionate about this is because I'm actually getting married soon, and I'm really excited to embark on this journey, and I know a lot of people are when they're at this point, but I had a really great foundation with my parents, and I got to see a really beautiful marriage. So I'm very excited, and so my first main point is that divorce is so common. I talked about 40 to 50% will end in divorce. The known factors that they have for this, again, coming from divorce.edu, is that marrying at a very early age, perfect for me, less education and less income, living together before marriage, and premarital pregnancy. Coming from a divorced family, feelings of insecurity, and no religious affiliation. These are all the top reasons why we see divorce. A Harvard article mentions that marriage is a sharing of lives, sharing of resources, sharing of mind, and a sharing of will. So essentially you're taking two different people on two different paths of life and bringing them together, making them live one life together. So that becoming of one flesh, as the Bible explains it, is very hard because there's a ton of compromise. And that's a lot that a lot of people don't think about in any relationship that is that way. So it requires a lot of selflessness, and that's a very countercultural attitude ideal. We don't see that a lot in media today. So this brings me to my second point, that this was not the intention of marriage. This is not how God said, I want you to have a helper so that you can have a naggy wife, or you can have a husband that doesn't listen, or you can do that. Those are all what we kind of think of when we think of marriage. But actually in Mark 10, the the Bible tells us that what God has joined together, let no man separate. You can tell that there's an emphasis on this, that God takes this seriously. In Hebrews 13, it says, let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the marriage bed be kept pure. So I think that it is safe to say that the Lord, if he's commanding us to hold marriage in this high esteem, in this sacred matrimony, that we should do it too. So John Piper tells us that the meaning of marriage is to display the covenant-keeping love between Christ and his people. So our marriage becomes our ministry. So in conclusion, marriage is a gift from God. It's designed for a man and a woman to come together and to further the kingdom of Christ. So, however, Satan has distorted that and perverted it. But my call to you guys and my call to action is to encourage you guys to seek out on your own, on trying to reverse that in your own lives and in the people that you get the privilege to pour into. So, and to see what the Lord really has to say about that. So thank you so much for your time, and have a beautiful day.